Hello, everyone. Welcome to your very first class, computational physics. We'll discuss today yung concept ng numerical modeling kasi basically ang computational physics is all about modeling physical systems. Okay, when we talk about modeling, we're really actually taking a look at or determining kung ano yung mathematical model na pwedeng i-describe sa isang physical system. And any mathematical model can be described by a particular equation. And that particular equation ay pwede mong isulat in this manner. So meron kang dependent variable, which in this case is described by f. At yung f na yon ay dependent sa mga independent variables, sa mga ilang parameters na pwede mong gamitin to take a look at yung behavior ng system. And of course, in some cases, mga forcing functions. Okay? If you recall from your physics 121 ordinary differential equations, yung differential equations na yun ay nagde-describe actually ng mga physical systems. Okay? And dun sa mga examples na diniscuss natin dun sa klase na yun, some physical systems require na merong force para mag-proceed yung motion. Like yung example natin sa swing. So yung swinging object like a pendulum, okay, tawag dito, nag-swing lang siya back and forth, so oscillatory yung kanyang motion. And then, pag merong dragging force, yung oscillatory motion niya ay nababawasan each oscillation. And para tawag dito, para mag-proceed yung oscillatory motion, gusto natin maglagay ng driving force para ma-continue yung ma-offset yung pagbawas or yung effect nung drag force. So in that particular example, yung parameters na dinidiscuss natin or na i-describe natin ay yung, for example, yung length ng string, yung mass nung object, okay, and yung independent variables of course ay yung theta, okay, yung angle na theta na kung saan nagde-describe nung swing nung pendulum. Okay? Okay. So yan yung mga kailangan natin para i-describe yung isang mathematical model. To further understand, para mas maintindihan nyo kung ano yung mathematical model, let's consider this example of a falling parachutist. Okay, itong falling parachutist is actually a relatively simple na physical system. Okay, kasi meron kang object, okay, or parachutist, okay, isang tao na nasa parachute. Okay, and i-describe natin yung parachutist as this object na merong mass, okay, at yung weight niya is mass times acceleration due to gravity. Okay, yung object na to is released from rest. Okay, as you can see here from the figure. Okay, let's see. Okay, so yung object niyan is released from rest. Now, as the object falls down, or as the parachutist falls, okay, alam natin na merong air resistance, okay, that is opposite in direction dun sa paglaglag niya. So yung air resistance na yon ay dinidescribe natin as a dragging force. And as it falls, yung dragging force na yan also increases. Kaya makikita nyo rito na yung vector that describes the dragging force, itong kulay pula na arrow, okay, is actually increasing, okay, in magnitude, or yung arrow mismo, yung vector mismo is increasing in size, okay, which tells us na yung dragging force also increases as the parachutist continues to fall. Now, paano natin dinidescribe tong system na ito? Well, we describe that using second law of Newton. Okay, so we sum all the forces acting on the object. In this case, Dalawa yung forces na kinoconsider natin, yung weight niya at saka yung dragging force. And if we use a coordinate system, okay, na ganito yung orientation, positive y upward, yung ating weight ay negative kasi nasa negative direction siya. Okay, kaya dito, negative mg yung component ng force due to the component ng total force due to the weight. Okay, and then you have this dragging force described by this or symbolized by this, represented by this letter F sub V. Okay, so yung net force ngayon is the sum of these two forces, the dragging force and the weight. Okay, of course, ang dragging force ay paakyat, okay, based dun sa coordinate system na pinili natin. Now, ang net force, according to second law ni Newton, should be equal to mass times acceleration, okay, along the y-axis. Okay, so now we have this equation which we derive using Newton's second law of motion. Ano ba tong Fv na ito? Okay, so yung dragging force can be described in terms of yung velocity ng object. Okay, for velocities less than around 10 meters per second, if I remember correctly, yung dragging force is just proportional to the first power of v. Pero for velocities greater than that, yung dragging force is typically modeled as proportional to the square of the velocity. Okay, so para simple lang yung ano natin, yung derivation, let's just consider a linear dependence of the dragging force dun sa velocity. Now we have this constant c, which we describe as drag coefficient. Okay, okay, so yan yung ating drag coefficient. Okay, and it's just a number that is experimentally determined. Okay, now itong acceleration due to gravity, yung total acceleration ito, yung net na acceleration yan, is also equal to the rate of change of the velocity. Kaya dito, meron tayong dv dt is equal to force, net force divided by m, kaya yan yung acceleration. So, ibig sabihin equal yan sa mg, mg, okay, minus cv. Okay, nagbaliktad to kasi we assume that the acceleration here is less than 0. Okay, or is negative based dito sa pinili natin direction ng y-axis. Okay, and syempre magka-cancel yung m dito sa first term, and you have the term c over m, you have the coefficient c over m, coefficient ng v dito sa second term. So yung total acceleration is equal to g minus c over m times v. Okay, and if you use yung techniques na ginamit na natutunan niyo from Mathematical Physics 1, Physics 121, you will end up with an equation for the velocity, okay, given by this. Okay, now we should check syempre kung tama itong equation na ito, and one of the things na pwede natin gamitin pang check is that, remember, we assume that the body is released from rest. So therefore, at t equals 0, we expect the velocity to be equal to 0. So let's see. So pag yung t is 0, okay, then this exponential term here is equal to 1, which means na ang velocity is equal to 0. Okay, so ibig sabihin, nag-hold itong expression na ito for the assumption that we gave it, we gave the system. Now, ano pang mapapansin natin dito? Tingnan natin yung nangyayari for times greater than 0. In fact, tignan natin nangyayari if we let the time approach infinity. If we let time approach infinity, then this exponential, okay, will become 0. And we are left with this, tawag dito, this term, mg over c. Ano ba yung mg over c na yan? Obviously, yung mg over c na yan ay may dimensions ng velocity, di ba? So ibig sabihin, it's some type of velocity. And it's actually called a terminal velocity, okay, which we will symbolize as v sub t. Now, anong sinasabi dito? Remember, we let t approach 0. So as t increases, yung velocity starts from 0 and approaches a terminal velocity. It doesn't actually approach infinity. Okay, bakit? Ibig sabihin, nagfa-flatten lang yung velocity increases, okay, velocity increases and then flattens out towards a terminal velocity. Hindi na siya mag-exceed more than that. Okay, bakit hindi siya nagpo-proceed to infinity? Well, kung titignan natin dito sa figure na ito, okay, from this figure we have the drag force. Okay, dito mali, 0 pa lang yung drag force. Pero pagdating dito, nag-increase na yung drag force. And pagdating dito, nag-increase pa further yung drag force. But that drag force cannot exceed, okay, the weight of the object. Okay, bakit? Kasi pag nag-exceed yung drag force na yan, ibig sabihin, ang sinasabi natin is pag nag-exceed yung drag force na yan, mas malaki yung vector na yan kesa itong vector na ito. At pag mas malaki yung red na vector kesa blue na vector, ang mangyayari is aangat yung object, di ba? So, hindi naman ganun ang nangyayari sa tunay na buhay. Pag yung tao ay nalalaglag, hindi yan darating sa point na mag-exceed yung drag force in such a way na aangat yung tao. Tuloy-tuloy lang siya nababagsak. Di ba? So, ang drag force has a maximum magnitude. And yung maximum magnitude niya is when it's exactly equal to the weight of the object. And in that case, kung titignan nyo rito, if the drag force is exactly equal to the weight of the object, then the net force is equal to 0. So the terminal velocity is reached when the net force is equal to 0. Okay, the net force is equal to 0. Okay, when the drag force is exactly the same as the weight of the object, then you reach terminal velocity. So yung tao or yung parachutist ay tuloy-tuloy lang na bumababa without any acceleration, constant lang yung kanyang speed or yung kanyang velocity. Okay? So, ganun ang nangyayari sa isang parachutist. Now, that's how we do modeling. This is the equation, okay, that we used, okay, to model our parachutist. Okay, yan yung ating working equation in Newton's second law. Okay, and we can actually write yung equation na yan in terms of a differential equation. Okay, so itong dalawang equations na ito models the falling parachutist. Okay, and yung solution dun sa model is described by this expression, and we can see that by analyzing yung solution, okay, we can describe kung ano nangyayari dun sa parachutist as we just did, di ba? So, tignan natin ngayon yung syempre para mas maganda siyang i-describe, kailangan natin i-graph kung ano nangyayari dun sa tawag dito dependent variables. Ano ba mga independent variables? Ano ba mga independent variable dito? So you have the height, the speed, and the acceleration. And we plot that with respect to time. So nakikita natin dito na yung height ay actually nagdi-decrease, di ba? As tawag dito as the parachutist goes down. Okay? So kung susundan natin itong linya na ito, nagdi-decrease lang siya in a parabolic fashion. Okay? Actually parabolic siya, tuloy-tuloy na ganyan. Pero at some time, okay, na hindi na siya naging parabolic. And I'll explain kung bakit naging ganyan. Okay? Now, kung titignan din natin yung speed niya ay nag-increase. Okay? Kung i-graph natin yung speed is a function of time and yung expression na yun is given by this. Diba? Yan yung expression na gagamitin natin to describe yung velocity niya as a function of time. Okay? Yun yung makukuha nating result. Okay, diretso lang siyang paakyat. Okay, and then it sort of flattens out after some large amount of time. Pero at this time, bigla siyang bumagsak. And I'll explain again why in a little while. Then, ano nangyayari sa acceleration niya? Ang acceleration niya ay lumiliit, di ba? Bakit lumiliit yung acceleration? Kasi sinasabi natin na yung FV approaches, yung magnitude ng FV approaches yung magnitude ng weight, di ba? So lumalaki ng lumalaki itong dragging force, which means na yung net acceleration, yung difference between these two, ay lumiliit ng lumiliit. At yun yung nangyayari dito sa graph. So, dito sa graph, from negative 9.8 meters per second, okay, nag-approach siya to 0. So nandiyan siya sa 0 actually at this level. Okay, and then it suddenly goes up. Now, ano yung reason dyan? Well, remember, this is a parachutist. And at some point, kung gusto niya mabuhay, kailangan niyang hilain yung wire that releases the chute. Diba? And yan yung time, okay, na kung saan nirelease niya yung chute. At time t equals 15 seconds. So when he pulls the wire, na-release yung chute, nagkaroon siya ng initial na acceleration. Okay, very large acceleration. Okay, more than about 3 Gs. Bakit 3 Gs? Kasi 10, 20, 30, di ba? Halos 3 times the acceleration of gravity, and then goes back immediately to 0. Okay, after a few seconds. Okay? Kasi ma-reach din ng parachutist yung kanyang terminal velocity. Now, dahil nga may parachute, ano mangyayari sa speed niya? Mangyayari sa speed niya is magdi-decrease. So, hindi na siya mabilis na mabilis. Magdi-decrease na yung kanyang speed. Okay? And that's really what the parachute does, di ba? Pinapababa niya na pinapababa yung speed ng parachutist. Pero meron pa ring terminal velocity. And yung height niya, okay, yung height niya dito, papunta pa rin sa 0 o papunta pa rin dun sa lowest na ano na tawag dito na sa ground, di ba? Papunta pa rin sa ground, pero mas mabagal na, mas gradual na yung kanyang pag-decrease. Hindi na parabolic yung motion, kundi medyo linear na yung kanyang motion. Okay? So yan yung nangyayari. Yan yung isa yung pwedeng gawin when doing a model. So you have an equation that describes a model, and then i-plot nyo yung results para mas lalo nyo ma-visualize kung ano nangyayari dun sa object. One thing you can also do is anong tawag dito? To sketch what is happening to the parachutist. Okay? And to do that, I'm going to play a little video. Okay? Okay. So here's the video. And tignan nyo kung ano yung nangyayari. So let me just pause here for a while. Nakikita nyo doon na nag-drawing ako or nag-sketch ako ng isang parachutist. At ang ginamit ko is isang marker na bilog at isang marker na star. So it looks like a human, di ba? More or less. And dito makikita niyo yung time. Okay, dito makikita niyo yung height niya. And dito naman dinidisplay yung speed and yung kanyang acceleration. Okay? So, if we continue this, okay, ayan yung parachutist, and nakikita niyo na as time progresses, nag-increase yung kanyang speed, nag-decrease yung kanyang height, and yung acceleration niya ay nag-decrease din. Pero I believe it's 15 seconds. Pagdating ng 15 seconds, mag-open yung kanyang parachute. Okay? And here. Yan. Okay? So now, nag-open yung parachute niya. Okay? Magdi-decrease pa rin yung height niya, pero yung speed niya nag-decrease significantly. Diba? After opening the parachute. The acceleration niya at this point is quite large pa rin. Okay? But if you continue the video, okay, makikita niyo na yung acceleration decreases to 0, the speed also decreases, and yung height niya also decreases as the parachutist reaches the ground. Okay, so this is how we do modeling. Ganyan actually kasaya mag-model ng isang physical system. You have a mathematical equation, you have this graph over here, and if you can also do a little bit of sketch here para mas lalo nyo ma-visualize kung ano yung nangyayari dun sa object, okay? Or dun sa parachutist in particular. Now, here's another example. Okay, this is a double pendulum. Okay, and this is something, or this model, something that you will derive pagdating nyo sa classical physics when you learn about Lagrangian and Hamiltonian. Okay, yung Hamiltonian formulation. Okay, but ang idea dito is you have well, not just a single pendulum, but you have two penduli, okay, a double pendulum. Okay. So ito yung isa, it has a length, at ito yung pangalawa, it has the same length. Of course, pwede nyo naman palitan yan. These are the parameters. Okay, this is an example of the parameter that you can vary. Pwede nyo palitan yung dalawang length na yan. And then itong unang pendulum is described by theta 1, and then yung pangalawa is described by theta 2. So those are, again, the parameters, or in this case, yung theta 1 at theta 2 ay mga dependent, independent na variable. Okay? So yan yung mathematical model, okay, derived using the Lagrangian formulation. Okay? Tawag dito, these are actually can be rewritten as it can be broken down into these six equations. Okay, so wag niyo nang isipin muna gaano yung equations na yan. I'm just showing you na may mga tawag dito, may mga systems na meron talagang complex na models, mathematical models. Okay, but when you figure out how to solve these models, okay, then you can graph yung solution. And that's what actually we're going to do here sa computational physics. Siguro towards near the end of the semester, you will be surprised na itong double pendulum ay kaya nyo nang i-model gamit ang computational physics. Okay, gamit yung matututunan nyo using dito sa course na ito. Okay, and what you will expect, okay, is something like this. Okay, so let's see if we can start that again. Okay, yan, okay. So, yan ang behavior ng double pendulum based on a specific parameter that it was given. Okay, so let's see. Okay, I'll just go back here and papansin nyo na, ulit, one more time. Okay, so nag-start siya dito, no? So dito siya actually nag-start. Okay, which means na ang theta 1 ay equal to 90 degrees at saka ang theta 2 ay equal sa 90 degrees. Okay? And remember na ito yung theta 1 at ito yung theta 2, and dito tayo nag-start. Okay, so ang theta 1 is 90 degrees at ang theta 2 is also 90 degrees. Yan yung initial condition for theta 1 and theta 2. Okay, so yan. And ganyan yung magiging behavior niyo. If you change yung initial parameters, then the behavior of the double pendulum will also change. Okay? Ito yung magagawa niyo towards the end of this course. And yeah. Okay. So let's summarize kung anong natutunan natin using kung ano yung numerical modeling. Basically, a numerical modeling defines a mathematical model that describes the physical system. Okay? And usually, the mathematical model is solved. Okay, yun yung problem na kailangan nyo i-solve. And then you use computational physics to solve these equations. Okay, makikita nyo na yung double pendulum kanina 6 equations, okay, which is really hard to solve by hand. Okay, and for that, in that case, kailangan nyo siyang solve numerically. Okay, in contrast, yung parachutist, okay, actually is easy to solve, tulad nung nakita natin kanina. And we can complement yung solution, okay, which was obtained by hand by using also computational physics. Okay, and that's why we do numerical modeling. Okay, so let's proceed to the next lesson. Okay, so here is your first numerical method, okay, na matututunan ninyo. Isa to sa mga pinakamadali. It's actually quite straightforward. Siguro yung derivation lang to how the expression is obtained, yun lang yung kailangan natin pag-isipan ng mabuti. Okay? So, numerical differentiation is just taking the derivative of a function, okay, using numerical methods. And the way to do that is by using Taylor series expansion. If you recall, okay, ang Taylor series is given by f of x, the Taylor series of a function, okay, is given by f of x sum from n equals 0 to infinity ng nth derivative, okay, ng isang function evaluated at x naught over n factorial times x minus x naught raised to the n. Okay, so you're taking the Taylor series and you're evaluating the Taylor series of the function f of x at x equals x naught. Okay, if we write that out, then yung first term is f of x naught, okay, plus yung derivative, first derivative, evaluated at x equals x naught times x minus x naught plus 1 over 2 factorial, then yung second derivative ng function evaluated at x equals x naught, x minus x naught squared, okay, and so on and so forth. Okay, and just to recap kung ano yung pinag-aralan niyo sa mathematical methods, mathematical physics 1, okay, let's consider halimbawa yung Taylor series expansion ng f of x is equal to x squared plus 3x plus 1. I-evaluate natin yung function na yan at x equals 3. Okay, yung exact na solution, of course, is f at x equals 3. Simply replace x by 3. So we have this, and this is equal to 9. If we do a Taylor series expansion, okay, we have for the first term, so let's do a Taylor series expansion of fx. Okay, for the first term, this is just f of x naught. Okay, so this is x squared plus 3x plus 1 evaluated at x equals, sorry, kailangan pala natin maghanap ng, we use x naught is equal to 0. So we evaluate, sorry, mali itong, ano na to. We evaluate it at some function, x, okay? So x naught is equal to 0. Gagamitin natin x naught dito at x naught equals 0. Okay, so and then yung first derivative nito is 2x plus 3, okay, evaluated at x equals 0, tapos x minus 0 plus 2, and then evaluated at x equals 0 times x minus 0 squared. Okay, and of course, this gives us, first term gives us 19, okay, plus, sorry, x equals 0 pala to. So x equals 0. So this is 1 plus, the first term gives us 1, and then the second term gives us 3 times x, diba? And then, of course, itong last term is just 2. Okay, pero may 1/2 pa pala dito, nakalimutan ko yung 1/2 dyan. So that's just 1. Then you have x squared. And since we're evaluating at x equals 3, then we have 1 plus 3 times 3 plus 3 squared, which is also equal to 19. Okay, and we see that the Taylor series expansion of f of x, okay, is the same as the exact na solution. Okay, similarly, or if we consider another example, let's halimbawa consider f of x equal to sine of x. Okay, and yung Taylor series expansion nito, sorry, evaluate ulit natin at x not equals 0. So ang exact solution is sine 0 is equal to 0. Okay, and kunin natin yung Taylor series expansion nito ngayon. So yung Taylor series nito is f of x naught. Ano ang sine of x at x naught equals 0 plus yung first derivative, which is cosine of x at x naught equals 0 times x minus x naught, o minus yung second derivative, sine of x at x naught equals 0, tapos x minus x naught squared. Ang x naught is 0, of course. Okay, and so ang makukuha natin dito na Taylor series is 0 plus ito, cosine of 0 is 1, tapos x, plus itong sine of 0 is 0, and then 0 na itong term na to. Okay, and then yung fourth term dito is actually x cubed over 3 factorial, and it will be minus. Okay, and then minus 0, and then plus x to the 5th over 5 factorial. Okay, and so on and so forth. Okay, which gives us f of x is equal to negative n equals 0 to infinity and negative 1 to the n. X to the 2n plus 1 over 2n plus 1 factorial. Now, and since we're evaluating this at x equals well, hindi pa natin siya in-evaluate at any function, di ba? So let's say na let's consider f equals f of f. Let's evaluate the functions sine x at x equals pi over 3. Then ang sine pi over 3, yung exact solution dito is square root of 3 over 2 is equal to 0.866. Okay, and if we use itong equation 5, okay, what do we get? Okay, so yung first term is pi over 3. Yung second term is 1 over 3 factorial, so 1/6 times pi over 3 cube, okay, plus 1 over 5 factorial times pi over 3 to the 5th. Okay. Okay, so huwag muna natin isama yung ano. Huwag muna natin isama tong okay, so sabihin natin na isulat natin to as ganito. O x to the 5th. Ano tong symbol na to? So these are the higher order function starting from the 5th order. Okay, so higher order functions starting from the 5th order. Okay, and kung itong dalawa lang evaluate natin, what will end up is 0.856, okay, plus O x to the And you can compare this with that. Okay? So yung error na makukuha natin dyan is 0.866 minus 0.856 over 0.866 times 100. This gives us 1.18% na error. Okay? And kung halimbawa, gagamitin natin yung tawag dito, yung third term na to the fifth power, yung error will give us 0.03%. Okay? So, now, compare this with this. Dito, nakuha natin yung exact solution. And that's because after the second derivative, wala ka na kasing third derivative. Okay, so the Taylor series expansion gave us the exact result kasi wala nang higher order terms. Dito, meron kang higher order terms. Okay, and if you choose like 2 terms lang muna, then the rest are error terms. So you call those error terms. So yung term na yan, those are error terms. Okay, and that in this example is equal to 1.18%. Okay, kung 2 terms lang gagamitin mo, or it's equal to 0.03% kung 3 terms yung gagamitin mo, and so on and so forth. So you have these error terms, okay, for certain functions. Okay, so what we want to do is actually to minimize itong error na ito, and the way to do that is to consider as much terms as possible. But dito sa example nito, we don't have to consider that many terms. Kahit na 2 terms nga lang, 1.18% is already a reasonable amount of, already a reasonable error. Okay. Okay. So, pinakita ko lang dyan yung Taylor series expansion. Okay. Now, ang i-consider natin ngayon is, tawag dito, this Taylor series expansion for this at x equals x naught plus some parameter h. Okay, describe ko mamaya kung ano yung parameter h niya. So if we do a Taylor series expansion of that, so we have f of x naught plus f prime evaluated at x naught times h. Okay, bakit h? Kasi remember, yung term dito is, okay, remember this is actually x is actually x naught plus h, and x minus x naught is equal to h. Eh, yung nandito is x minus x naught, diba? So, h lang yung nakalagay. Magiging yung matitira dyan. Okay, plus 1/2 f double prime evaluated at x naught, and then h squared plus 1/3 factorial. Third derivative ng function evaluated at x naught times h cubed, and so on and so forth. Now, ano tong h na to? At this point, we're going to call h as the step size. Okay, for reasons that will be more obvious later. Okay, so for now, consider muna natin ang 2 terms. Okay, so itong first 2 terms lang. Okay, so we have f of x naught plus h is equal to f of x naught plus f prime x naught h. Okay, bakit yung first term lang kinonsider natin? Kasi, first 2 terms lang kinonsider natin. Kasi yung second term in particular has the first derivative of the function evaluated at x naught. At gusto natin i-isolate yan. Okay, so i-isolate natin yan. Then we'll have f prime x naught is equal to f of x naught plus h minus f of x naught all over h. Okay, now, if this equation looks familiar to you, and that's because nakita niyo na to sa Math 53. Ang kulang lang dito is, sa Math 53, merong limit as h approaches 0. And this is actually the definition for the derivative of the function f with respect to x. So you can see na merong direct relation, okay, yung definition ng derivative dito sa na-derive natin na expression gamit ang Taylor series. In fact, they're exactly the same. Okay? And magiging exactly the same yan if we let the step size h be as small as possible. Okay? Okay, so what do we have here now? What are we left with here now? Okay, let me just go back to itong mga terms na natitira. Itong terms na ito. Okay, so ang ginawa natin dito, let me just describe ko ano yung ginawa natin dito. So nilipat ko tong f of x naught dito, kaya siya may f of x naught plus h minus f of x naught, yan yung numerator dito. Okay, and then dinivide ko everything by h, kaya may h dyan. And if I do that to these terms na naka-bracket na blue, I will have these additional terms here plus 1/2 f double prime, or sorry, minus 1/2 f double prime x naught h na lang kasi I divided everything by h, di ba? And then i-bracket natin yan minus 1/3 factorial, third derivative ng function f evaluated at x naught h plus na dapat, and so on and so forth. Now, ito, yan yung higher order term. And yung lowest, okay, dyan is to the first power of h. So yung higher order term begins with, or yung error term begins at the first power of h. Okay, so we now have this expression. Okay, at itong expression na ito, yan yung numerical derivative. Okay, and this is the error term. And the error term is in the first power of h. Okay? Particularly, ang tawag natin dito is first forward divided difference. It's a difference between f of x naught plus h, and then you divide it by the step function, kaya siya divide the difference. It's forward because we are looking at the next step, the next value of after x naught, and that next value is defined by the step size, okay? And this first here corresponds to the first derivative, okay? Okay, so para mas makita nyo kung paano siya ginagamit, consider ulit natin yung function, okay, na meron kanina. F of x is equal to x squared plus 3x plus 1. Okay, huwag yung munang intindihin yung graph. So, ang f of x is equal to x squared plus 3x plus 1 ay merong derivative na 2x plus 3. Okay, and if you evaluate that derivative at x equals 3, then the value of the derivative at x equals 3 is 2 times 3 plus 3 ay equals 9. Okay. Now let's use the expression for the numerical derivative. Plus h minus f of x naught over h. Okay. So, first, we need to define kung anong x naught. We can define any number to be x naught. So, pwede natin sabihin na ang x naught is equal to 0. Okay, and that's fine. So, we're referring the first derivative with respect to that number. Okay? So, let's say x naught is equal to 0. So, ibig sabihin, f of 0 plus h, remember na ang h is x minus x naught. Ang x is 3, ang x is 0, so ang h natin is 3. So f evaluated at 0 plus 3 minus f evaluated at 0 and then divided by 3. So pag f evaluated at 3, na-compute na natin yung kanina at ang sagot dyan is 19. Okay, and then f evaluated at 0, ang sagot dyan ay 1. Okay, pag 0 yung x, matitira ay 1. So divide by 3, then we get 18. F prime of x is equal to 18. Okay, so ano yung, 18 divided by 3, and this gives us 6. Ano yung error? Ang error nito is 6 minus 9, absolute value, divided by 9. So that's about 33% na error. Okay, multiply by 100. If, halimbawa, we use x naught is equal to 2. Okay? So, anong mangyayari dito? Ang h ngayon, so x naught is equal to 2. So, ang h is 3 minus 2. So, equals to 1. So, ito ngayon magiging ang f prime of x is equal to x naught plus h. So, 3. Okay, tapos minus f at x naught, evaluated at 2. And then ang h is 1. Ang f of 3 is 19. Ang f of 2 is, so 2 squared plus 3 times 2 plus 1. So 4 plus 6 plus 1, 11 over 1. Ang makukuha natin sagot dito ay 8. And 9 minus 8 over 9 times 100% is equal to 11%. Okay, so habang yung h ay lumiliit, okay, yung error ay lumiliit din. At yun yung makikita nyo rito sa graph. Okay, so sa graph na ito, we started off with a step size na 3. At yung error is 33%. Nung binaba natin yung step size sa 1, yung error ay naging 11%. Okay, so as we decrease the step size, the error also decreases. And remember that this error is represented by the first power, first order of h. Okay? Okay. So now tingnan natin yung f of x equal to sine x. Okay, evaluate natin yung sine at x equals pi over 3, tulad ng ginawa natin kanina. And then for now, let's use x naught is equal to 0. So meaning yung h is equal to pi over 3 minus 0. H is also equal to pi over 3. Alam natin na yung exact solution is cosine x, and ang cosine pi over 3 is 1/2. Wait. Yes, 1/2. Okay. So if we take, if we use these derivative, numerical derivative x naught plus h minus f of x naught over h, we'll have f of x naught plus h is f of pi over 3 minus f of 0 over pi over 3 f prime of x. So this gives us 0.827. And if we compare that with the exact solution, minus 0.5, this gives us about 65% na error. Okay. So So pi over 3 is, so 3.14 divided by 3 is approximately 1.5, diba? Approximately 1.5. Okay. 1.05, sorry, 1.05. So, asan yun dito? So, 1.05 is somewhere here. Okay, and that's about 65% na error. And if we decrease the step size further, we see that the error also decreases to 0. So pag step size is 0, then the error is also 0. Or as it approaches to 0, the step size decreases to 0. Okay, so this is the expression for the first derivative. Specifically, this is the expression for the first forward divided difference. Okay. Now, kung may forward, di meron ding backward. Pero how do we derive that? We derive that by beginning with this f of x naught minus h, imbis na x naught plus h. So, if we use Taylor series expansion, we have f of x naught minus, hindi na yung plus, so minus f prime of x naught times h plus 1/2 f double prime evaluated at x naught h squared minus 1 over 3 factorial, third derivative ng function evaluated at x naught h cubed, and so on and so forth. In this case, ang x minus x naught is equal to negative h. Okay, remember na ito ay x, so equal yan sa x naught minus h, so ang x minus x naught is equal to negative h. Kaya ka may negative sign dito, may negative sign dyan, diba? Kasi every time h has a power that is odd, then yung negative sign ay lumilitaw. Okay, kaya ka nagkakaroon ng negative sign dyan. So again, if we choose only the first two terms, itong term na to has the first derivative. Okay, and then we can write this expression as f of f prime of x naught is equal to f of x naught minus h minus f of x naught all over h. Okay, sorry, negative yan. Baliktad. F of x naught minus f of x naught minus h. And then you have these higher order terms, minus 1/2 f double prime x naught times h minus 1 plus 1 over 3 factorial, third derivative, x naught h bar squared, and so on and so forth. So ito yung higher order terms. And remember na yung lowest term is h. You can see that the lowest term is h. At ito naman yung ating expression for the first derivative. And since we're taking a look at the value of x behind x naught by a step size h, okay, so this is called the first, diba? First derivative kasi, pero backward, and then of course, it's a divided difference. Okay? Okay, so walang ganong pinag-iba to sa first forward divided difference in terms of yung size ng error. Regardless kung anong pipiliin nyo, it will still give you the same more or less the same result or same degree of error. Now, there's also a first centered divided difference. Okay, and to do that, to derive that, we have f of x naught plus h minus f of x naught minus h. So we take the Taylor series expansion of f of x naught plus h and the Taylor series expansion of f of x naught minus h, and then we subtract one from the other. Okay, the latter from the former. So 2 f prime x naught h plus 1 over 3 factorial, third derivative ng f evaluated at x naught times h cube, and so on and so forth. So yun lang yung matitirang term. Again, ito yung ating error term pag simplify natin yan, then we can get the first derivative here kasi makikita niyo yung expression na yan. So we have f prime x naught is equal to f of x naught plus h minus f of x naught minus h. Okay. All over h, or in this case 2h kasi 2 and then h, okay, minus 1 over 3 factorial f3 x naught h squared plus and so on and so forth. Now, ano mapapansin niyo dito? The error is now a power of, starting from the power of, the lowest power of the error is squared, h squared. Okay. Kumpara doon sa forward at backward divided difference. At ito, ang kinukuha niya is yung forward, okay, na step size at saka yung backward na step size, and then yung divisor is twice the step size. Okay. So if you analyze it real quickly, mas magandang gamitin itong centered divided difference kasi yung error term is h squared. Anong ibig sabihin yan? So if you select an error of 1, then yung error term mo is in the order of 1. And it doesn't matter pagdating sa forward, backward, or centered. If yung h mo is 0.5, then if you use the forward and the backward, then yung error term mo is in the order of a tenth, diba? Of a number. Pero sa center divided difference, square yan. So that will be 0.5, 0.25. So it will be 1 over 100, in the order of 1 over 100. Okay. So mas maliit yung error na binibigay ng center divided difference using the same step size. Okay? So, yun yung kinaganda ng center divided difference. Ang disadvantage ng center divided difference is that you're removing, when you take the numerical derivative, and you will see this later, when you take the numerical derivative, you're actually removing 2 data points. Yung first, and then yung last na data point. If you use the forward divided difference, you're removing the first data point. And if you use the backward divided difference, you're removing the last data point. Okay, again, may illustrate yan mamaya in another example. Okay, for now, tignan muna natin yung kung gaano ka-powerful yung center divided difference in terms of the error. So let's consider this expression and evaluate natin yung forward, backward, and center divided differences ng expression na ito. Let's use an anchor at 0.5 and evaluate natin ito at 0.5 at ang step sizes na unang gagamitin natin is 0.5 and then later ang next step size na gagamitin natin is 0.25. Okay? So, tignan muna natin of course yung exact solution. Ang exact solution dito is f prime at 0.5 is equal to negative 0.1 times 4, diba, times 0.5 cube minus 0.15 times 3 times 0.5 squared minus 0.5 times 2 times 0.5 minus 0.25 is equal to negative 0.9125. Okay, so yan yung ating exact solution. Okay, give me just a couple of seconds. nire-revise ko rin yung notes na isa-send ko sa inyo habang inaayos ko, habang nagpe-present. Okay, so, okay. Now let's use the forward divided difference. So first forward divided difference. Okay, using the first forward divided difference, f prime 0.5 evaluated at f of x naught. Ang x naught natin is 0.5 plus yung step size na 0.5. So h equals 0.5 dito. Minus f at x naught, which is 0.5 divided by step size na 0.5. Okay. This gives us 0.2 minus 0.925 divided by 0.5 or negative 1.45. Okay. This corresponds to an error of 59%. Okay. Negative 1.45 compared to that is about 59%. Okay. Center divided difference. Backward divided difference. F prime 0.5 is equal to f at 0.5 minus f of 0.5 minus 0.5, so f of 0, and then 0.5. This gives us 0.925 minus 1.2 divided by 0.5 is equal to negative 0.55, and this corresponds to an error of 40%. Okay, first backward divided difference. Now centered divided difference. F prime 0.5 is equal to f of 1 minus f of 0 divided by 0.5 times 2 is equal to 0.2 minus 1.2 is equal to 1 is equal to negative 1.0. At yung error dito is 10%. Okay, makikita nyo na magkalapit lang yung error pag forward tsaka backward, pero pag centered, ang laki nung niliit. Okay. Now, I'm not going to show yung complete calculation. I'm just going to write down yung results. Pag h equals 0.25, yung makukuha nyo from first forward divided difference is negative 1.155. So that corresponds to an error of 27%. First backward divided difference yields negative 0.714. Okay, so that corresponds to an error of 22%, and then yung center divided difference gives us negative 9.34, which corresponds to an error of 2.4%. So, ang ginawa naman natin dito is nireduce natin yung step size by half. And by simply doing that, we reduce the error, okay, by this amount. Okay? Anong mapapansin nyo rito? First, sa first forward divided difference, yung error was reduced by half. Sa first backward divided difference, yung error was also reduced by half. Pero sa center divided difference, yung error was reduced by 4. And again, that's because yung order ng error for center divided difference is h squared. Okay? So by reducing yung step size by half, we get a large reduction of error using centered divided difference. Okay? Okay, if you have any questions, you can send them by email. Okay, remember na naka-video naman to and you can pause the slides anytime. Okay, and when you send the question, if you have a particular question, just tell me kung anong slide or kung ano yung timestamp. Okay, so sabihin nyo at timestamp, ganito ganyan, ito yung tanong ko. Okay, or sa ganitong slide, sa slide ng example 5, ito yung tanong ko. Okay, so You can send that by email, pero kung gusto niyo ng mas thorough na discussion, pwede tayong mag-set up ng Zoom. Okay, let's do some a little bit of interpretation. Okay, bakit din mas maliit yung error pagdating sa ano? Pagdating sa tawag dito, pag smaller step size at pagdating sa center divided difference. Yung black curve dito, in both cases, yung black curve dito, okay, ay yung tangent line at x equals 0.5. So we're evaluating the derivative of the function at x equals 0.5. So that essentially means mathematically that we're taking the slope of the function at x equals 0.5. At yung slope na yan ay yung black na line na nakikita nyo kay dyan sa graph in both cases. Yung cyan colored na line ay yung result ng first forward divided difference. Yung green ay yung result ng first backward divided difference at yung magenta ay yung center divided difference. Okay? Immediately, makikita nyo na yung slope ng center divided difference is nearly the same as the slope of the tangent line, okay, compared dun sa forward at saka sa backward na divided differences. Okay, and this is another way to present yung error, okay, nung numerical differentiation. Okay, the reason kung bakit ang center divided difference, okay, ay nag-work in this particular example is that we're taking yung slope between these 2 points, and by doing that, okay, we get a line, okay, that is nearly parallel to the tangent line. Okay, to the tangent line, to the line tangent at x equals 0.5. Pero if we use forward divided difference, okay, yung line na yan is not parallel, and then if you take the backward divided difference, ganun din, yung line na yan, yung green line, is also not parallel. Okay? So yan yung graphical representation ng error. Okay. Now you have tawag dito. Now you can numerically estimate yung tawag dito yung derivatives, okay, ng functions. Now, kailan natin gagamitin itong numerical differentiation? We use numerical differentiation, okay, if we have a data set. Okay, and ano bang meron sa data set? Well, di ba pag nag-experiment kayo sa 101.1, Physics 101.1. So meron kayong nakukuhang graph, di ba? At yung graph na yon is just a bunch of dots. Pero yung dots na yon may have a pattern, pwedeng parabolic, pwedeng linear. Okay, so yun yung data set ninyo. Okay, and if you're halimbawa ang data nyo describes the position of an object with respect to time, if you take the numerical derivative of yung data na yon, then you get the velocity of that of that object, di ba? That's where you can use itong mga numerical expressions for numerical derivatives. Okay? Now, ano bang nangyayari pag kumukuha kayo ng derivatives? Okay? So ang nangyayari nga is pag forward at backward divided difference, you lose one data point. Pero pag tawag dito, pag center divided difference, okay, you lose two data points. Okay? And makikita nyo naman din yan dito sa result na ito. Kasi to describe yung yung derivative, okay, nung function na ito, okay, you use these 2 points. Okay? Pero yan dalawang data points na yan now represents a single data point. Okay. Etong dalawang data points na to also represents a single data point. That data point is the derivative, okay, of the function, numerical derivative of the function. Okay, and tawag dito, pag sa center divided difference, you have these two data points that describes the numerical derivative. So you actually lose these 2 points. Dito, you retain that point, pero pag forward, you lose this point. Pag backward, you lose this data point. Okay. So it will be a little bit more obvious mamaya sa example, or maybe sa next meeting kasi mukhang ginagawa na tayo sa oras. Okay. So in the notes, you'll find na merong tawag dito, derivation for the second forward divided difference. Second forward divided difference. Okay, so this means that this is the second derivative forward yung pag-derive sa kanya, you use a data point that is before x naught or after x naught, and then it's also a divided difference. There's also a second backward divided difference. And then there's also a centered divided difference for the second derivative. Okay, so you'll find the derivation there. Okay, for our purposes, in derivation is not so important because tawag dito, it's actually the same way. We derive it in the same way as we derive the first divided differences. Okay, using Taylor series, pero instead of just including 2 terms, mag-include tayo ng 3 terms para ma-include yung second derivative, and so on and so forth. So what I'm going to do now is just show you itong mga expressions for the forward divided differences for higher derivatives. Okay, so yung equation 18 at saka 18, yan yung na-derive na natin for the first forward divided difference. Equation 23 is backward divided difference, na-derive na rin natin yan. And then, makikita nyo kung paano dinerive yung equation 40 at saka equation 44. Okay, if you're interested, nandiyan sa notes na ipapadala ko sa inyo. Pagkatapos, you also have makikita nyo rin yung expressions for the third derivatives, for the forward tsaka backward divided differences. And then dito naman, yung equation 27 yung dinerive natin. And then the rest ay mga other expressions for the first, second, and third derivatives. So these are numerical derivatives. So madami kayong expressions na pwedeng gamitin. How do you know yung order ng terms? So typically, pag centered, yung next order nung h sa denominator, yan yung power nung error. Okay, order ng error. So halimbawa, sa equation 27, yung denominator is 2h. Okay, so ibig sabihin yung order ng error dito is h squared. Ito h squared din yan, ito h cube, yan h cube, ito h to the fourth. So order ng h to the fourth. Okay? Dito, okay, kung ano yung order nung denominator, yun din yung order nung error. Okay? So ito ay order ng h cube. Okay, so yun yung well, sabihin na natin na rule of thumb. Ngayon, tingnan natin kung paano implement numerically or encode yung numerical derivative. Tulad ng sinabi ko kanina, yung numerical differentiation is applied to a dataset. Okay, pag sinabing dataset, ano ba yung meron ka? Okay, so you have X and Y data, okay, na related sa isa't isa. Usually yung Y is a function of X. So yung X yung independent variable at yung Y ay yung dependent variable. So yung X can have elements na X1, X2, X3, X4, and so on and so forth, hanggang Xn, and yung Y can have elements of Y1, Y2, Y3, Y4, hanggang y sub m. And if this is an experimental dataset, okay, the number of elements n ng x ay equal lang sa number of elements ng m ng y. So typically, n is equal to m. So yung both x and m, both x and y ay merong n number of elements or n number of data points. Okay? Okay, so yung data points na ito can be evenly spaced or unevenly spaced. Pag sinabing evenly spaced, ibig sabihin halimbawa 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hanggang sabihin natin 100. Okay, so ito ay evenly spaced kasi yung difference between x is 1, x equals 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 hanggang 100, ito ay evenly spaced pa rin kasi ang difference between two numbers, between any two elements ay 2. Pero halimbawa yung x equals 1, 4, 6, 7, and then later on 19, 22, 23, and then towards the end 95, 99, 100, ito ay unevenly spaced kasi hindi equal yung differences between any two adjacent na data points. Okay, kasi halimbawa dito, yung difference between them is 3, dito 2, dito 1, dito 3, dito 1, tapos dito 4, dito 1. So hindi siya evenly spaced throughout the whole data set. And typically sa isang experiment, you have evenly spaced na abscissa or x. Okay, or na independent variable. Okay, so that makes taking the derivative, the numerical derivative, easy. Makes it easy. I mean, in the case na evenly spaced, since any two adjacent na numbers or elements ay pareho lang yung spacing, so you can take yung first two elements, for example, x2 minus x1 to be equal to the step size. In the case na unevenly spaced, ang gagawin nyo is for each iteration, you are going to compute for the step size. So, halimbawa, xi plus 1 minus xi. So, this is the ith iteration. So, halimbawa, sa first iteration, ang h1 is 4 minus 1 or 3. Sa second iteration, ang h2 is 6 minus 4 or 2. Sa third iteration, ang h3 is 7 minus 6 or 1. Okay, and so on and so forth. So, ganun yung i-compute pag yung spacing pag unevenly spaced. Okay, now kailan niyo gagamitin yung ganyang tawag dito, ganyang ganyang treatment. Okay, so if we use yung forward divided difference natin, first forward divided difference na expression. So we have this expression, xi plus 1 minus f of xi, okay? All over h, okay? Pareho lang yan sa f of x naught is equal to f of x naught plus h minus f of x naught over h, okay? In this case, yung xi is just x naught at yung xi plus 1 is just x naught plus h. Plus 1 kasi it's just one step forward or one h, one step size forward. Okay, so if it is evenly spaced, then any two elements, pag kinuha mo yung derivative ng any two elements, ang mangyayari ay yung h will be the same. Okay, pero kung unevenly spaced yan, you have to consider, okay, ang mangyayari dito is that f of x prime I is equal to f of xi plus 1 minus f of xi over hi, kung saan hi is equal to x of I plus 1 minus xi. Okay, so ganun yung mangyayari. Okay, pag Of backward divided difference, first backward divided difference expression, if you recall, is this minus f of xi minus h. Oops. So that would be x of f of xi minus 1 all over h. Okay, and then pag uneven, so f of xi is equal to f of xi minus f of xi minus 1 all over xi minus xi minus 1. Okay, yan bali yung h. And pag center divided difference, you have f of xi plus 1 minus f of xi minus 1 all over 2 h, na kung saan yung h is either xi plus 1 minus xi or xi, tawag dito, minus xi minus 1. So you can use either of them. Okay, so ganyan yung siya iti-treat. So yan na yung basic na expression, okay, na gagamitin ninyo. Now, ano ba tong I na ito? Okay, so just para lang clear, gamitin lang natin yung first forward divided difference. Okay? So yan yung ating expression for the first forward divided difference. Kung meron kang n data points sa iyong data set, then ang gagawin nyo is you start off with I equals 1, solve, okay, for the derivative for I equals 1, then punta ka sa I equals 2, solve for the derivative at I equals 2, and gawin nyo yan for all data points hanggang n minus 1, hindi n. Bakit? Kasi sa I equals 1, ang expression mo is f of x1 is equal to f of x2 minus f of x1 all over h. Okay, x2 minus x1. Okay, so you already solve for the first data point, okay, nung derivative. Okay. Oops. So, pag I equals 1 yan. Pag I equals 2, then you get fx prime 2 is equal to f of x3 minus f of x2 over h. Okay, so that's the second data point nung derivative. Okay, and then gagawin niyan hanggang I equals n minus 1. So f prime of xn minus 1 is equal to f of x. Ano na tong subscript dito? That's n. Okay, minus f of xn minus 1 all over h. So nagamit nyo na yung last na data point. Okay, nung original na graph. Okay, and if you continue, halimbawa, continue mo lang I equals n, f prime of xn is equal to f of xn plus 1 minus f of xn over h. Wala ka nitong data point na yan. Wala kang x of n plus 1 kasi yung x mo is just from x1 hanggang xn. N lang yung number of data points. Wala kang x of n plus 1. So that's why you stop at n minus 1. And kung meron kang n data points sa original data set, dun sa derivative, you'll get n minus 1 data points. Ano ang nawala? Yung last na data point. Okay, yung last dun sa end. So ito yung sinasabi ko kanina na when you take the derivative of a data set, you lose one data point. Now you can imagine na pag backward divided difference yung ginagamit nyo dito. So backward divided difference, okay, it's f prime of xi is equal to f of xi minus f of xi minus 1 over h. Okay, dito you start from I equals 2. Okay, bakit? Kasi kailangan mo yung x1. F of x2 minus f of x1. Okay. over h. Okay, dun sa very first na data point. And then you end up with I equals n. So f prime of xn is equal to f of x n minus f of x n minus 1 over h. Okay, so sa backward divided difference, you lose I equals 1. So you lose the first data point. Okay. Okay. Okay, so let me just add one more slide here. So, para lang ma-complete natin yung discussion. Okay, so para sa center divided difference, so f of xi, f prime of xi is equal to f of xi plus 1 minus f of xi minus 1 over 2h. So, saan ka magsa-start niyan? Hindi ka pwede mag-start sa I equals 1. Okay, kasi kailangan yung dito. Hindi ka rin pwedeng mag-end sa I equals n kasi kailangan yun dito. So you start from I equals 2, okay? F of xi is equal to f of x, ano na to? 3 minus f of x1 over 2h equals 3 f prime of x3 is equal to f of x4 minus f of x2 over 2h hanggang I equals n minus 1 f of x sub n minus 1 is equal to f of xn minus f of xn minus 1 over 2h. So wala ka nung I equals 1 at saka I equals n. So in the center divided difference, you lose 2 data points. So halimbawa, if you have 1, 2, 3, 4, okay, let me repeat that. So halimbawa, if you have a graph that looks like this, okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so sa forward divided difference, ang derivative niyan is ito sa first data point, ito sa second data point, at ito sa third data point. Ilalagay mo ngayon yung data point na yan kaysa dito. Kung ano man yung slope nito, okay, slope niyan, di ba? So, sabihin natin na ganyan yung slope niya. And then yung slope nito, mas mababa. So, sabihin natin na ganyan yung slope niya. And, mas mataas pala, sorry. And then yung slope nito, mas mataas pa. So, ganyan. Okay? So, yan yung para sa tawag dito sa forward divided difference. Sa backward divided difference, ang gagawin nyo, you start here, kunin yung slope nito. So, yan yun. And then, you go here, kunin yung slope nito, and then, yan yun. And then you go here, kunin yung slope nito. Okay, and, saan na tayo? And, ito yun. Okay, so you have this and this para sa centered, sa forward divided, sa backward divided difference. Ito yung sa forward divided difference. What about the center divided difference? The center divided difference, to get this, tawag dito, to get this derivative, kukunin mo yung ito. And to get this derivative, kukunin mo yung slope nito. Okay? So yung slope nito might have a value na ito, at yung slope na ito might have a value na ito. Okay? So, the center divided difference, you lose 2 data points. Okay? So yun yung difference dyan. Okay, now how do you implement that in code? So in this example, yung generate na code dito is for the sine function. Okay, so ito ay yung time time variable. So this is the time variable. At ito, yung function na y, which is equal to sine of t. Okay? this is the step size. Okay, bakit yan ang ginamit ko, hindi yung ano? Kasi ito, if you recall, is the step size h equal to 0.1, and it's the same for all data sets. Okay, now your expression for the forward divided difference is this minus f of xi. So yung I ko runs from 1 hanggang sa length of t minus 1. Yung n dito is length of t. Okay, so n minus 1 is length of t minus 1. And then ito, I assigned as the variable dy dt forward, and then yung index na I. Itong f, yan yung yi plus 1, and then itong yung yi. And then, yan yung dalawa, yan yung difference ng dalawa divided by h. Okay, so here, I'm computing for the forward, a divided difference, okay, over h. Forward the divided difference. So this expression is this expression in code. Of course, the exact solution, ang derivative nito is sine t. Ng derivative ng sine t is cosine t. So ito yung exact solution. Okay, and if you plot that, you get this result. So dito sa figure na ito, you have the result for the first forward divided difference. Okay, and you can see dito sa figure, okay, so first of all, yung blue line, yan yung original na function, sine of x. Yung blue crosses, yung black line, yan yung derivative. Okay, computed from the exact solution. And yung red, and yung result ng first forward divided difference. Okay, so makikita nyo na may konting shift lang, konting difference between the red dots, the red circles, and the black line. Ito namang result dito is the first backward divided difference. Okay? Okay, so again, hindi exactly coinciding yung divided difference with the exact solution, yung black curve. On the other hand, yung centered divided difference, yung first centered divided difference coincides precisely with the numerical solution. Sorry, with the exact solution. Okay, and that's because na yung error dahil sa center divided difference na numerical expression is tawag dito smaller kumpara sa first forward at first backward. If you count the number of dots, the number of red circles here, it's one less than the number of crosses for both first forward and first backward, and you'll see that in the code. Okay, but if you count the number of circles in the center divided difference, it's two less than the number of crosses dito sa graph na ito. Okay, yun yung effect ng center divided difference. Okay, so ito yung example. Okay, computation. Okay, nung difference, numerical derivative, this is how to use it, and this is how to analyze yung solution. Okay, so I'll see you. This is it for today, and I'll see you next meeting.